Hi, Catherine. I apologize for the delay in getting this to you. For some reason, it didn't show up with my other emails. It was only when I changed some of my settings that it showed up. So I'm really sorry about the delay. Let me get this to you straight away. We've got pollution. Let's see what you wrote. Nowadays, pollution is becoming extremely harmful, especially in large cities where the population concentration is notorious and industry development is lightning fast change. Pollution is an environmental health risk, accounting for illness and deaths of people and increasing damage to crops, forests, and ecology. Therefore, it is quite valuable to stand out factors to address issues of this phenomenon and reduce the quality of life. Okay. Um, let's see. Let's look at it from the beginning and I'll tell you where I found some issues, okay? First of all, vocabulary. This was the wrong word here. So, where the population concentration is well known, where the population concentration is very high, okay? You could have said that. Very high would have really been the best, I think, okay? And industry development is lightning fast, not lightning fast change. That doesn't really work, okay? Pollution is an environmental health risk accounting for illness of people, increasing damage. Okay, accounting for and increasing that's fine. Then the vocabulary here is wrong. Therefore, it is critical to um, pinpoint factors, and then the rest of this doesn't really make sense. To address issues, you're not really saying anything. So I didn't really like this. I'm not really sure how to fix this, to be honest with you. Okay. Now, that's as far as language is concerned. Now let's talk a little bit more about task achievement issues. The what are you supposed to do in an introduction? You're supposed to do a couple of things. You're supposed to rephrase the topic, okay? And then you're supposed to answer the question. You're supposed to provide some sort of brief response. This one says, what are the reasons and how can it be solved? So you didn't really address that, did you? You just said that we have to address issues, but you didn't tell me there are particular reasons for this, but there are solutions available. It's really that simple. That's all you needed to do here. While there are many reasons for this phenomenon, solutions do exist to counteract this growing issue. Okay, someone like that would have been fine. And in fact, you could probably use that in a lot of different reasons and solutions essays. Okay, so that's another thing I would have wanted changed here. All right, human activity has become highly dependent on fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas. For instance, most people prefer driving a car instead of using public transportation, and the number of cars has increased dramatically per house to up to 3 automobiles. Okay. It's a little awkward, which is why I've paused here to see how we could fix it, or if it's something I can just overlook. For now, I'm going to overlook it. Traffic jams amplify carbon monoxide, and the process continues with greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. This is the wrong expression here, not alternative to this issue. You want to say something else here. You want to say something like, to counteract this issue, introducing electric cars can be helpful, but the government should support funding, not finance, it should support funding to citizens as this type of car is unaffordable. Also, changing patterns such as using bicycles or walking short distances will make a big difference and help improve your health. And this, you see how it's underlined? It's underlined because it's not a sentence. You don't have a noun here. Who's your subject? Who is building? Maybe you could have said, additionally, governments should build safe and affordable public transport systems and pedestrian and cycle-friendly networks. Okay, so let me see if I understood this. You decided to do reasons and solutions in one paragraph. And I'm assuming that the next paragraph has the same. And that's fine to do. You certainly can. You have two choices. You can either do what you did, or you can put all the problems in one paragraph and all the solutions in another. Both are fine. But there's one thing you have to be really careful about. And this is a problem that some students run into when they do it the way you did. Most students tend to spend so much time focusing on the reasons that they barely spend any time focusing on the solutions. Why are they solutions? How are they solutions? Okay. And I kind of feel like that's what you did here. So take a look at this. To counteract this issue, introducing electric cars can be helpful. Okay. Why? How would that help? And then you can tell us because it would reduce the amount of carbon monoxide in the air, etc., etc. Okay. Um, and then you could say to this end, using bicycles or walking short distances would also make a big difference. Okay. So you have to explain to us how and why your solutions are solutions. Don't just mention them like, oh, yeah, this would be good and that would be good. No, you have to do a little more than that. Okay. All right. Other main contributors to pollution include industry and electricity generation. Power plants during the process spread nitrogen oxide, I think it's just singular, heavy metals, sulfur oxides, lead, and mercury. Whoa, wait, what happened here? Power plants during the process spread this and this and this. Okay, so I think you want to do something like this. Hold on. Can spread nitrogen oxygen, oxides, heavy metals, sulfur oxide, and lead, while mercury can build up in the soils and sediments and accumulate in food chains. All right. So I don't love this sentence for a variety of reasons. It didn't really make sense. You had spread, and then you tell me what it spreads, and then you said mercury can. So it doesn't work like this. Then you had way too many ands in one sentence. Look, and. So I want you to rewrite this sentence in such a way that it's clearer, that you've got a better parallel structure here, and you don't have so many ands. There are a lot of ways you could do it. I would do it for you, but I'm not entirely sure what you're trying to say. Okay. So how about you do this? Let me try it. Power plants during the process spread nitrogen oxide, heavy metals, sulfur oxides, lead, and mercury, which can build up in soil, subsequently ending up in food chains. Okay, maybe this is what you meant. Government should promote. All right, now here, I think you're going to start talking about your solutions. So this feels to me rather bare. There's not a lot of information about this problem. So maybe you could have gone into a little more depth about this. Okay. All right. And again, if you're going to go into the solutions, you need to signpost it. You need to have some sort of a linker saying that, okay, to kind of switch gears, I want to talk about solutions now. So you could say something like, to solve this problem, so government should promote strong policies that penalize greenhouse emission levels and intensities. I don't like this word. Get rid of it, intensities. Also, it should, because it's government, it should give incentives to private capital in order to expand cleaner production and invest in energy efficient power generation such as wind power and solar panels. How would this help? You're giving me a list of reasons. Look, reason 1, reason 2, and then reason 3. I need you to do more than that. I need you to actually tell me why these solutions would be solutions. All right. And then fix the grammar, because you have government should do this, and then you have give incentives, but who give incentives? All right. This is why I said it should give. And then here again, you're missing a subject. So provide affordable and clean fuels and technologies for cooking, heating, and lighting in a. Oh, no. Okay. I think you want okay. All right. All right. So try it like this. Providing affordable and clean fuels and technologies for cooking, heating, and lighting in a fair way should be top priority in the government agenda. And then tell me why. How would this help? What would it do? Okay. All right. So Agricultural activities, which include excessive use of pesticides, usually affect, you don't want an S here, and water quality. Another way to tackle this can be by introducing pesticides with less hazardous components and disposing of pesticide containers properly. Try sustainable agriculture. Okay, again, where's your subject? You're missing a subject. Trying sustainable agricultural practices with less ecological footprint can have sound effects on water and groundwater resources. All right, I don't really like this being its own paragraph. I think you were fine with the other things you talked about. This is just a little itty bitty paragraph, and I don't like it on its own like that. So I would have gotten rid of it. To conclude, various drivers of pollution are recognized, but the solution depends on collaboration between citizens and the government. All right, that's fine. So, I mean, there's good stuff happening in this essay, clearly, but there are some things that I really need you to work on in order to improve it, okay? Now let's take a look at your summer job letter. Okay. All right, so let's see what you have here for this letter. Okay. Dear Sir, Madam, I am writing this letter to join as a nursing assistant in the hospital. I will be blissful if you can consider my application suitable. All right. I like your first sentence. I'm writing this letter to join as a nursing assistant in the hospital. I would change it around a little bit. I would have said I am writing this letter to join your hospital staff, because you join not the hospital, you join the staff of the hospital. So I'm writing this letter to join your hospital staff as a nursing assistant. That works better. And then this word is really out of context. You can't really use blissful like this. So I definitely want to change that. And then you've got a conditional here. You've got if. So it shouldn't be I will. It should be I would. So let's change this around and say I would be uh, thrilled if you consider my application suitable. Now, grammatically, that works. I don't love the word thrilled, but even though it's grammatically better, it still doesn't really fit here in this context. We don't write this in formal letters. So, the better thing to write here for me would be please find attached my CV for your consideration. Okay, that would be a better thing to write. Or you could have said, I have the experience and background necessary for this position. That also would have been good. Okay, so something like that would have been more appropriate here rather than this sentence you've got. Okay. I am an economic analyst at National Budget Office in Santo Domingo, and my job encourages me to do social work. Furthermore, it helps me identify people's needs as I work with budget items, and the health sector is the most demanding in terms of equipment, reconditioning, and medicine provision. Okay. On the other hand, I would be able to work with children, especially in the entertainment area. I am keen on taking care of children with disability. Well, usually we say disabilities, IES, and cancer. For example, reading tales before sleeping, playing games, and giving lunch. That's not a sentence. That's a fragment because there's no verb here. Okay. For example, activities I like to do with them include reading tales before sleeping, playing games, and giving lunch. However, all right, again with will. However, I would be able to collaborate with on other duties if you need support, because you've got if here, you can't use will here. Okay. Fine. I have previous experience with children as a math teacher at school, and this has helped me to understand. No, this has helped me to manage children in several situations. One of my remarkable skills is patience, as in a classroom. Grammar. One of my remarkable skills is patience, as a classroom may have a variety of backgrounds, abilities, and learning styles. Also, I have other abilities as an organization. No. I have other abilities such as organization, teamwork, and conflict resolution. Finally, you can find relevant information on my resume. All right, let's talk about this. So we cleaned up the grammar, we cleaned up the vocabulary. Now let's look at the task. You are writing to introduce yourself, you explain what type of job you like, and your previous experience. All right, now that's what you're supposed to be doing. You want to work, it's a summer job, right? Okay. So I thought this was a little strange. You're trying to do a summer job, okay? And I just felt like I don't know, it just seemed kind of strange to me. You want to be a nursing assistant, but you work in a totally separate field. And now you're doing social work, but it never talked about social work. It said do a job, a summer job. So it didn't make sense to me why somebody who was an economic analyst would be asking to become a nursing assistant for the summer. So it didn't really make sense. Now, IELTS doesn't really check ideas. It checks the other areas, the criteria that everyone is familiar with. But this still just didn't make sense to me, which then leads me to wonder if maybe you misunderstood the task. So I didn't really get this. I don't know. It would have made a lot more sense to me if you had said you were a nursing student and that you are hoping to get some practical experience, um, before you receive your degree. That would have made sense. And then, if you had said, like not as a math teacher, but maybe like as a teacher's assistant, you were again. So things that are more in line with this, because I felt like this was all over the place and it felt kind of weird. All right, so that's pretty much my feedback about this. The vocabulary needed work, some of your task achievement, and yeah, and I already gave you a lot of feedback on your task too. So go ahead, correct these. Let's see more work from you and see what you can send us. Okay, good luck.